Peace family, this is brother Sekhem coming to you from Durban, South Africa. I'm at North Beach in Durban. As you can see behind me, there's the beautiful sea, there's the coast. A beautiful day here today. I think it's around 29, between 29 and 33 degrees around that region. It's very hot, it's beautiful, and it's so inspiring. So I decided that I want to talk with you today about the significance of the sun and its role in our lives. And yeah, we all know that the sun, without the sun there's no life. The sun sustains us, but there's so much more that the sun does for us and blesses us with. The first thing I want to talk about is the fact that we need to at least get 4 hours of sunlight, the sun's rays, or to be technical, the hydrogen waves, to absorb those, receive those on a daily basis, at least 4 hours. So it's very important because the sun plays a significant role in our overall diet in terms of what we consume outside of our bodies, not just limited to what we consume in terms of putting inside of our bodies. So the sun, we're supposed to get at least 4 hours of sunlight every day, and the implications of not doing that are quite severe over time, because we can end up suffering from diseases like SAD, which is seasonal affective disorder, which is an actual scientifically proven sickness or disease or condition that is brought about from not getting enough sunlight. Okay, so the symptoms of SAD disease are depression, low self-esteem, poor immune system, weak immune system, poor skin, poor digestive system. So it has many negative implications. Okay, so we are taught from a Western paradigm that too much sunlight is detrimental to us, which is bullshit. It's nonsense, it's rubbish. Okay, I just want to make this very clear. As melaninated people, as beings, we are children of the sun. We are sun children. We are born to be in the sun, and we are created to live and sustain ourselves comfortably under the sun. That ideology of the sun, or that thinking of the sun being detrimental to us, is being proposed and being fed to us by Europeans. Okay? They have a difficult time, as we all know, living under the sun. There are many reasons for this. Many of us have come to know why. Okay? But I don't want to divert into that today. Maybe that's a topic for another day. But in terms of us, we need to throw away that sunscreen, stop protecting ourselves from the sun, the very thing that sustains life. Doesn't make any sense at all. It's a contradiction. Why would you try or attempt to protect yourself from something that gives you life? Okay, and aside from water and oxygen, man, the sun is literally, it's so powerful. Okay, you can't do without it for too long. Yeah, without, as I said earlier, without suffering the serious consequences. So we are designed as Black, Nubian, African, melaninated beings to be and stay and thrive under the sun, which is our original environment, and where we thrive the most via sunlight. Okay, so the sun does many things for us, as I've stated earlier. One of the things that it does for us as electrical mechanisms, because our bodies are electric mechanisms or electrical mechanisms. So we are solar powered beings. The more sunlight we have, the more energy that we have. It charges our biological battery, so to speak, the sunlight, okay? Now, that's very significant because we derive a lot of our energy from food that gets converted into energy. But the sun's light is another critical form of energy that we are supposed to absorb. Yeah? Now, apart from providing us with so much energy, it also charges our brain or increases the electrical activity or output of our brain. It's very powerful, just being in the sun. It also stimulates our first eye, which a lot of people erroneously refer to as the third eye. It stimulates your pineal gland or pineal gland, your pituitary glands. Yeah, it reactivates your supreme divine melanin. Okay? And the sun also helps to rid the body of many ailments and sicknesses. And some of them, most of us have had in our lives, colds, flus, etc., etc. Because the sun acts as a purging agent where we're able to sweat a lot of the toxins caused by these sicknesses present in the body out of our bodies. Now, as a South African, I was born in South Africa, but I moved to the UK and spent most of my life in the UK. And it was aside from the many experiences that I had there, it was very traumatizing in the sense that the weather is terrible. And you know, the UK is famous, or England is famous for its bad weather. And that title is well justified, it's well deserved, because the weather is terrible. So I always found any opportunity that I could to, when the sun was present, which was far and few between, to get into the sun, train, exercise, meditate, and just sit in the sun and enjoy the benefits of what the sun has to offer us. So I used it really not necessarily consciously at the time, but I used it as a form of healing. It was my therapy. But unfortunately, as I said, it was the sun's presence was far and few between. So moving back to South Africa, and especially Durban, we are blessed to be able to enjoy the sun in all of its splendor for a significant amount of time throughout the year. We have roughly 4 seasons here, and from December till around February is considered summertime here. We have autumn, winter, spring, etc., obviously. But the weather patterns are changing. A lot of things are changing. Sometimes it's hot in the winter time here, or it's very warm. And then you find in summertime, as we've just left summer here, but it's still hot. We find a lot. Sometimes you have your cold days, your cold fronts, and you have a lot of rain. You know, and we're blessed to have all of these different weather conditions or weather patterns. But it is, like a lot of the world now, out of whack. The 4 seasons are not strictly, performing as they would, say, 5-10 years ago, where you would have those autumn, winter, spring, summer, etc., etc. Everything is kind of mixed up now. We know why that is. You know, we have world governments playing with the weather via the HARP project as one means as they seek to control the weather. HARP project being the highly active auroral research program based out of Alaska, North America. And yeah, they're manipulating the weather patterns, and we're feeling the effects, you know, unfortunately. And that's all the more reason that we need to embrace the sun and absorb and receive its nutrients, because the sun also activates certain vitamins within the body. You don't get vitamins from a bottle. That's a myth. Vitamin D is only active in the body when you are receiving the sun's rays, and that's around between 9 and 11 in the morning times, in the mid-morning, sorry. So, and that's an enzyme that is awakened within the body, within the system, that is activated via the sun's rays, that is able to provide you with the opportunity to improve your health. Okay, so one thing I must say is we've developed here in South Africa a culture, and this is especially to my South African brothers and sisters. We've developed a culture of viewing the sun in a negative light. We walk around with umbrellas, we hide in the shade, we run away into buildings when the sun is out. We're always complaining, oh, it's too hot, especially for those of us who are living in the city, okay, where they actually block out the sun through skyscrapers, which are designed and built to block out the sun for that purpose, so we don't receive the healthy benefits of the sun's rays. So my brothers and sisters, especially in South Africa, please, you need to reevaluate the way you view the sun and your whole concept of the sun and its purpose and its presence in our lives, because you're missing out on all of the health benefits that the sun has to offer us when you're constantly running from and hiding from the sun. Yeah, so I know it can be uncomfortable to be in the sun for too long. I'm not saying you should stay in the sun for the whole day or the whole afternoon, or even at its zenith or its peak hours. I'm just saying, get some sun whenever you can. It's good for the skin. Don't let them lie to you. Okay? So it's very important that you receive the health benefit, you embrace the sun and all of its health benefits. A powerful activity that our ancestors used to perform with regards to the sun, and you know, in ancient Africa, especially ancient Ptah, Maya, Yareye, or Kush, Nubia, Kemet, Egypt, whatever you want to refer to it as well as in South Africa, we used to worship the sun in the sense of paying homage and respect to the sun, because we appreciated what it does for us. Because without the sun, along with the rain, there's no crops, which we obviously consume to sustain ourselves. So our ancestors back in ancient times used to place or view the sun in high esteem. That's why you see on the hieroglyphs, on the monuments in Egypt and in South Africa, some of the cave paintings by Abattoir, the Sand people, so-called Sand Khoi people, who are really the Patahites. You see the sun is a consistent theme within the cultural expression, whether it be through dance, music, painting, song, etc., etc. So one of the rituals our ancestors used to perform was the ritual practice of solar gazing, which is basically to stare into the sun at specific hours or times of the day, directly into the sun, which would be, and those times would be during the first hour of sunrise and the last hour of sunset. And they used to stare into the sun in increments of 5 seconds, meaning you stare into the sun the first time you solar gaze for 5 seconds, 5 seconds only, no longer than 5 seconds. And then you look away, you go about your day. Then the next opportunity you get to solar gaze or sun gaze or eat the sun, as some say, you would stare at the sun for 10 seconds. Stop, and then go about your day. And every time, obviously it's not necessarily a daily thing, it depends on the weather, you know, or you might not be able to solar gaze every day. But whenever you do, regardless of how long the break you may take, you always start from the point that you finished off the last gaze, from your last gaze. So if you gaze for a minute, or you gaze for increments of 5 seconds for up to a minute, and let's say you take a month's break, or you're unable to gaze for say a month or so or longer. When you come back to the practice, your next length of time will be 1 minute, 5 seconds. You just add 5 seconds each time, no more than 5 seconds. Because yes, you will do damage if you try to be a hero and gaze at the sun one time and try and receive all of those benefits that really only come over time. It's a process that doesn't need to be rushed, okay? So in total, doesn't matter how long it takes you to complete the course, you would have gazed for around 45 minutes. Increments of 5 seconds. If it's say around 9 months, say it takes you 9 months to complete the course, okay, you would have gazed for about 45 minutes in total. So your last solar gaze, the last time that you stare at the sun when you're about to complete the course, would be literally for 45 minutes, because you would have built up from 5 seconds to 45 minutes. Now it's also important that when you gaze, you stand, if possible, on either soil, rich, fertile soil, or sand. Those are the best materials, so to speak, to perform your solar gazing on. Stand on sand or soil, okay, natural elements, not on grass. Concrete is very limiting to the benefits that you will get, because it kind of blocks off, it cuts off your connection, okay, especially with the sun in the center of the earth, because there's a 6,000 mile long sun in the center of the earth that we are connected to. So as we walk barefoot, as many of our ancestors did, we receive the energy, the electricity from that sun located in the center of the earth, and it connects through our soles of our feet. It travels. If we're standing on soil or we're standing on sand, that energy is able to travel up through the earth's surface into the soles of our feet. Sol, sun. There's a reason they call it the sole, or the bottom of the foot. So it travels up through the foot into our bodies, and also acts as a charge, gives us a charge. So we're charged from the sun above, the celestial sun, and the sun that is underneath our feet in the center, located in the center of the earth. Yeah? And we are supreme beings, man. We are so blessed. We also have a central sun located in our chest, in the center of our chest. Hence, solar plexus, solar, sun, central sun. So we're dealing with three suns. Our solar plexus, which we also refer to as our pilot light when it's lit, the sun up above us in the celestial abode, and the sun located in the center of the earth beneath us. So there's a connection taking place. There's a charge. So we, as melaninated beings, as supreme beings, as Panagaru, as gods, deities, as the descendants of gods, we need to revisit, we need to revive, reintroduce, and practice these ancient practices, these ancient arts and sciences that our ancestors blessed us with and passed down to us. Okay? We need to do that also because it acts and empowers us to navigate modern life much easier. Okay? It's these arts and sciences are very empowering. They're gifts from our ancestors. And you will see, once you put them into practice, once you decide to engage with them on a consistent basis, we have to be consistent with our practices, you'll definitely reap the benefits. You'll be surprised, and you'll be able to face life, so to speak, engage with life more dynamically, more vibrantly, more energetically, more coherently, more focusedly, more confidently, more creatively, because they enable you to tap into your inner gifts, your inner abilities, your innate abilities, which lie dormant for the most part in many of us, because we have yet to really truly tap into our full divine potential. Okay? So when we solar gaze, what's taking place is the sun, or Pare, or Ilanga, hits the lens of our eyes as we stare into it. And because our eyes are composed or made of quartz crystal, they begin to resonate. Electrical activity begins to take place within the confines of our eyes. So the sun's light or rays or hydrogen waves hit our eyes, and because quartz when it's subject to a change in the electromagnetic field, it resonates. It starts to resonate at a higher frequency. That electrical charge is passed through the eyes to the brain. So it increases the electrical activity within the brain, because most of the electrical activity takes place in the brain in terms of the body. Okay, so it's always going to be beneficial if the more you can increase the electrical flow within your brain. Yeah, so, and in doing so, we are able to stimulate more of our brain power, use more of our brain capacity, which can only be a good thing, because we are born geniuses originally. We are born geniuses, and we are, in our pristine state, we are whole brain thinkers, which means that we're supposed to be utilizing and using our full brain capacity, both cerebral hemispheres, left and right. Okay? Another benefit of solar gazing or being in the sun is to stimulate and reactivate your supreme melanin. Activate your melanite cells, which enables you to do so many things as well. Because the superheroes that they talk about and portray in the movies, in the films, in the comics, in the TV series now, there's a proliferation of superhero entertainment films, etc. Those beings, most of those supreme beings are us. Really talking about us. A lot of those powers those beings have, we have, but are just lying dormant within us. And we need to unlock these powers so that we can put them to practical use within our daily lives, not just for the sake of having them, but it's not just going to happen magically. We have to put in the work. We have to work on ourselves. We have to build our spirit. We have to work on ourselves emotionally, spiritually, soulfully, mentally, etherically, because we are holistic beings by nature. Okay? And we are designed to live holistically. I don't know if you can see in the background there, Moses Mabhida Stadium. Hopefully you can see it, I'm not sure. Yeah, you can see in the background there. Nice building, nice architecture. So you can see the sea behind me. Going this way is further up North Beach, and then this way would be moving further towards South Beach. So we are blessed in this day and time to have this knowledge. Let's use it. Let's use it to inspire, motivate, uplift, and empower ourselves, especially during these times of so-called COVID crisis, this socially engineered COVID-19 corona crisis. Let's use our ancient and powerful systems, indigenous knowledge systems, arts and sciences, to counteract the effects of all the malevolence, all of the disagreeable, evil, negative things that are being brought into the world during this time. Not just the corona, but all of the uh, man-made, manufactured events that they're using and seeking to use to instill fear in us, to manipulate us, our minds, and to some degrees destroy us. Yeah? We keep asking for answers, for solutions. And to be quite honest, what I do find when you express and you share some of the solutions, not saying that we have all the answers, but we do have some very practical solutions in terms of building ourselves. You find that we cry often as a people. We complain. And we ask all the time, what can we do? What do we need to do? Especially during this time again, during this so-called crisis, to navigate the murky waters of this crisis. Some of the things that I've just shared with you regards to the sun are some of the practical measures that we can take for our mental health, again, our spiritual health and our emotional health and our physical health. But what I find over time is that a lot of us want a magic pill. We just want to be told, oh, just do this one thing and everything else is going to fall into place. Everything is going to be fine and dandy. Everything is going to be rosy. But it doesn't work like that, my brothers and sisters. Life doesn't work like that. Excuse the lighting if I'm moving around and maybe my face is obscured at times, but I'm just, inspired, just enjoying my time in the sun. So there is no magic pill, but we do have the answers. We do have solutions, practical solutions again, that we can apply and see in a relatively short space of time the positive effects in your life. So don't sleep on this information and this outformation, this right knowledge, which is what we also refer to, or which falls under wunuwap. Again, much of this information and outformation is brought to us by our master teacher, Pa Nabab Yanun, or Pa Nabab Yananan, also known as Dr. Malachi Z. York, the master teacher, a supreme being sent to us from our ancestral supreme beings to raise us. And we've had many leaders that have come to us to raise us. But we need to listen to the messages. And even if you don't agree with everything, take what is useful, absorb it, and apply it in your lives. Don't look for a magic pill. Same thing people do when they're physically sick and they go pop a pill and then just hope everything's going to be okay. Rather than say, okay, let me bypass the symptoms and let me deal with the source, the origin of my sickness. Okay? And there I can uproot it because I know what I'm dealing with. Yeah? I know what it is I'm dealing with, so therefore I know how to solve this challenge. What herbs, what diet, what dietary regimen I need to adhere to, etc. What lifestyle changes I need to make, so I don't end up back in the same spot. And I don't need to keep asking the same questions. Okay? So family, I hope that didn't darken you. This information and outformation, I hope it really sparks something from within you, cause some genetic explosions, and it resonates with you. Because what I'm sharing with you, and what a lot of our brothers and sisters who are waking up and who have already awakened are sharing among us globally, is the knowledge, the right knowledge that we've needed for so long, that we've been blessed with, that has been sent to us from our creators, from our so-called gods, from our supreme beings, which we refer to as Panataru, from our ancestors, from Amadlos. Okay? We mustn't sleep on this, because there will be a point where it's too late to be proactive. And when you don't have this knowledge and you don't apply it, or when you have this knowledge and you don't apply it, you become reactive, or you remain reactive, always reacting to life's events rather than being proactive and taking life by the proverbial horn, so to speak, and becoming a master of your own destiny, not leaving your destiny, your fate in the hands of somebody else who doesn't give a damn about you, or a people that don't care about you. Learn to love yourself so that you can share that love with others. Learn to cultivate that divine love within yourself, because it's there. And that love will take you a long way. So my brothers and sisters, peace, love and power to you all. We are Tamaray Coaching, Conscious Coaching and Strategies. And I hope you enjoyed the talk, and look forward to breaking bread with you again. Peace.